oh, the indignity! I think I'm about to be connected up to that ratty little engine, Thomas the Tank. Ho ho ho! Well, hello there. I have found some Thomas and Friends Adventures. I nearly said Take and Plays. These are, well, very similar to Take and Plays, but there is a difference in the coupling system, and the playsets have a different track system as well. The back of the box is a very bamboozling assortment of different languages in very fine print. If you're lucky and you're in store, you may find this pamphlet which explains the changeover from Thomas and Friends Adventures to Take and Play. It's a very important read. I think I read about this in another toy review I've done, but I've already got a Thomas unboxed here, and it came from the Reg in the Scrapyard playset, and I said a lot about this Thomas in that toy review, and what I'm liking is the changes that Mattel have done. As an individual Thomas toy, it's a $6 toy in Sydney, Australia, and I think that's an extremely good price for that toy, because what I've noticed is the toy prices have come right down. This Thomas from Thomas and Friends Adventures, it's got the rollover cab, as I call it, the squash cab. A couple of years back we used to have a fully formed cab there. The whistles have been diminished to nothing. A little dome on top's diminishing as well. We haven't got our buffer details, but we've got rid of that silly dumb magnet which was totally useless, and there's a reminder of it. And I think when you look at the Thomas that preceded the Thomas Adventures, really it's like chalk and cheese. Thank goodness that magnet's gone. And I really think the coupling system is fantastic. It's got some major advantages and other things it can clip into apart from its own sort. Let me show you what I can do with it. That's Trackmaster 2, that's the Shooting Star Gordon. I think it's totally awesome. And, oh, the indignity! I think I'm about to be connected up to that ratty little engine, Thomas the Tank. Ho ho ho! And if the planets line up for me and I don't goof what I'm going to say here, I can get Shooting Star Gordon dragging along Thomas Adventures. Nearly said Take and Play. Can't get Take and Play out of my head, but it looks very goofy, doesn't it? And I'll let Gordon steam away with Thomas there, and the track's a bit warped because we've had very hot temperatures in Sydney. Maybe I should explain it in another video. And sure, Thomas Adventures isn't really made for that Trackmaster 2 track. It's sort of skittling there on one rail and sort of on the sleepers as well. But I know children will often play silly games like that, and so do adults like me. I like doing things like this. But seeing those two Thomas toys coupled together like that is, I think, one of the major positive things about getting rid of that dumb magnet. And the absolute Thomas classic take-along is looking over there in disgust, and I better haul Gordon up here because I've got some more toys to show in this video. Well, I was able to find Percy, and I can do my Percy voice for you. It's something like this. Percy talks like that, doesn't he? What I like about the packaging here is you can get different languages of Percy. I don't know what other languages are represented there. Maybe Russian. The back of the box looks like that. But let me just go back to my normal voice, because I want to say something about what I don't like about this packaging. I would like to see, maybe, go back to, this is a long time ago. This is ERTL toys. And what was really nice about these was you had a engine synopsis on the back here. Back when it was Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, a little synopsis like that was on the back of the packaging there, so if you knew nothing about Rusty, you could certainly learn it from reading that. And also there was a lovely little historical note there explaining all about the engine. There was also a pretty good detailed list of all the characters you could collect, that is if someone didn't put a sticker over it, but in essence that section there is something that you cut out and is what's known as a collector's card. That's sadly what is missing from today's Thomas toys. After ERTL came Take Along, and they incorporated a collector's card within the packaging there. It was a very, very nice idea. You weren't cutting away any of the actual packaging. I liked that it had see-through stuff so you could see the whole toy. I spoke about that in another video. It brings back a lot of good memories, doesn't it? But I tell you what, I think a lot of people would be crying for that card to come back. And I've actually gone into my collection here to show you, well, I didn't even realise I had this stuff. Just reminds you how good it used to be. And it's funny that back when Take Along appeared, people were crying because they felt it was nowhere near as good as ERTL because it had all been sort of squashed up and deformed in the toys. But I've got one, oh that's weird, one missing here. Oh, he's got his invisible cloak on. That's Diesel 199. And this one here, maybe I can reach in and show you the collector card. After much nearly severing of my hand there on sharp plastic, There is the beautiful collector card, and this nice solid cardboard, and the other side looks like this. And there's a close-up of the reed there, and you get a bit of an idea. The D199 wasn't that nice, nice a diesel, eh? Yeah, what was a little bit strange, and this segues me to these collector cards that I found in Target. So they've got Target names here. These are in Australia, and these are sort of curious. I found these in the area where they were selling Thomas toys a couple of Christmases ago. They are marked 2014 Ghislaine Thomas down there. You open it up, it's like a promotional thing really. And here are the cards. Okay, there was Edward, and the other side is like that. Okay, so it's like a set of playing cards in a way. The Fat Controller, they're quite nice. Catelyn, again, it's just Thomas and Friends on the other side. Ben, okay, and of course there's Thomas there. You know, they're really nice. And there's a nice close-up of the Thomas card. You can see that it's very nicely printed. There's a very nice picture there. It doesn't look cheap at all. And most importantly, there is a little synopsis there all about the #1 Blue Engine. So here's Thomas back again. Percy will be back soon. Sorry, the boys and girls. But wouldn't it be nice if they incorporated that info there, or a card or something, or even on the back of the card? Because this cardboard is designated the Thomas because there is a picture of Thomas there. It's not as if it's generic across all engines. Wouldn't it be nice if that info there was somewhere on the back here, but sadly it is missing. Oh, well, that's totally derailed the video, hasn't it, Percy? You got Percy's voice back again. We'll unbox Percy here. Oh yeah, I love that sound. Oh, he can breathe. Get me out of here! Get me out of here! And Percy looks very Percy in the face. Percy looks pretty good. It feels nice in the hand. Yeah. It looks much better with that new coupling system. I'm sure everyone's going to agree, although some people might argue with me. Yay, Percy is an absolute winner. Now, because I can't help myself and I like to see train wrecks, I'm going to put Percy with Thomas here behind Shooting Star Gordon, and we'll see what happens. Anything could happen, I can guarantee it. Oh, Shooting Star Gordon is away. He needs a bit more coal, I think. There's Tom. Oh, they're over. Shooting Star Gordon. Oh, the indignity, those little engines are nothing but pains in the neck. Well, there you go. That was one tragic idea, but it's fun. I'll guarantee you it's fun. I'll give it one more go. Okay. And Gordon is not going to like me after this video, I'm sure. Okay, they're away. Anything could happen. There's that, it's that lumpy track that's doing it. I just saw it cause it. Oh, the indignity! Get these little fry engines away from me! They're causing confusion and delay! Oh! Yes, it's this warped bit of track here. I had it hanging up in my garage and the hot days have deformed it. Maybe I need to go and warp it back down. I've just taken the major twist out of that track, and now hopefully it's going to work without any more confusion and delay. And there's Thomas, nearly said take and play. I keep wanting to say take and play. Can't get it out of my head. And there's Percy Adventures. Thomas and Friends Adventures. Got to get it right or I'll get in trouble. And I reckon it looks very awesome, and I'll turn Gordon off and we'll open up another character. The next Thomas and Friends character is Timothy, Thomas and Friends Adventures. This packaging's a bit different. It says metal engine here. Take a good hard look at that, get it in your head. But the back has this picture here of these engines, like racing at full steam. This silly thing, something YouTube Kids, which I know nothing about, I don't want anything to do with. And down there, it's very different to what you see on the back of, let's say there's Thomas there, the back of Thomas. Okay, noticing at the front, it didn't say metal engine up in that corner. So, who knows what's going on here? I don't know which one came first or second, but let's get into Timothy. It's really nice to have the price lowered down with these toys. It must have been a lot of the price caught up in the magnet. And I've actually got a Timothy from the Take and Play era to take a comparison to. Ooh, hello Timothy. If I had a synopsis card on this, I could tell you more about Timothy. Maybe you could tell me all about this little engine. Just coming in closer there, taking a look at the details on this toy, it's rather nice, remembering it's a lower price now. I think it looks much, much better without this old magnet coupling. We'll take a look at that very soon. There's underneath there. Yeah, I think this is a very, very positive move. And here is Timothy from a bit of a previous era. It's 2014, copyright on it. Noticing the price there, $9.95. Like I said, they were $10 toys in Australia. So the big difference between $10 and $6, quite remarkable. It's not often you see things drop in price so dramatically. Maybe it's saying something about the children who play on apps and don't play on toys these days. This might be a huge incentive to get people about thinking of toys with this new lower price. I think it's a really nice thing that's happened. I like this style of packaging. I always thought you could make Thomas chocolates out of that side there. It's probably not food friendly or food safe. I shouldn't say things like that. Oh, I also just remembered how hard it was sometimes to get these characters out because they get locked into the plastic. Come on, Timothy. It's a fighter, I tell you. Oh, free at last. And in that era of packaging, you had the little printed rail there. They went to a lot of trouble to make it look like the train was on the tracks, and of course you had that as a front window to the toy. Yeah, a bit of a bygone thing, isn't it? The things that we don't see anymore. Now, both of these toys are marked 2013 Mattel. I suppose it's a generic bottom, isn't it? Of course, that's the Thomas and Friends Adventures there. Taking a good look at that. In the background there was when it was taken play. And, I mean, when you look at the front here and you get rid of that giant magnet, it makes such a big difference to the toy. Mind you, the front buffer's actually different, isn't it? The Thomas and Friends Adventures is missing some details there, but that great big red plate's missing. I don't know what was more accurate to what Timothy actually looked like. I know the audience is going to tell me that the paint work on it looks very similar. Come around to the back here. I'm just trying to keep them on the same side as I go around here. A bit ugly. Okay, again, the Take and Play's got that great big red piece there, the plastic piece that held that stupid magnet. I think this new design is much, much nicer to look at. It looks like the same mould at the top of the engine there. Yeah, I know all this is going to get you chatting. I think it's very important to take a look at the changes that have gone on. Very important. Okay, back to Shooting Star Gordon's Hell Ride here, his Train of Death. And of course, the magnet couplings can't connect there. There is an adapter that Mattel apparently have. You have to contact them to get it. As far as I can see, they're not in the play sets, and I'll get Timothy connected here. I love the way that connects. I like the feeling of it. Oh, the indignity! Get these fleas away from my tender! Okay, Gordon, here we go. Let's see how this works. And there's Thomas. There is Percy, looking fantastic. And there goes Timothy. Somehow they're not causing a massive train wreck. Looks nice, doesn't it? You can't keep your eyes off it. And I'm sure Gordon's going to be doing more complaining. Get these little brats away from me! I can't stand it! The Fat Controller never asked me to do a job like this. This is terrifying. I'll tell you one thing, Gordon, he gets a bit of speed up and then he'll slacken off a bit and he'll come back. There's a fair bit of weight to carry along in that there. We are only dealing with Trackmaster 2. Let's open another engine. The next engine, Thomas and Friends Adventures, it's Racing Raul. Isn't it from the Great Race? Was that the Brazilian engine? It doesn't say metal engine or anything there. The back looks like that there. And it does show 3 other critters that you can get in this collection. And we'll get Raul free here. I think it's a shunting engine. If it had a synopsis, I could tell you a lot more. And you can just hop on the internet, can't you? And you can sound exactly like an expert. Okay, Raul is free. Oh, the packaging, and actually Raul looks very spiffo if you ask me. Come around the front here. Looks good, doesn't it? It'd be nice if it did it have detailed crisscross things on the so wouldn't it be nice? Let's look at the artwork here. See on the buffer detailing there? Imagine if that detailing was translated across to here. Would have made all the difference there, so you could get your texture in there and colour it up, as many of you would. But nevertheless, it is made to a price. Again, on the back there, if it had the extra detailing, it would be a lot nice. Yes, it's all made to a price, isn't it? And I dare say that is part of the thing about cheaper toys. Just coming in nice and close. Look how glossy that paint is, and I say that because that black there is a lot glossier than that. Here's a Thomas from the earlier era. Okay, that's the one with the magnet there. See how satin, I'll call it satin, that is, versus how glossy that black paint is. I like glossy paint. I like it a lot. And you can see the details on the side there. Looks spanking when it's glossy, doesn't it? And a nice close-up of face, which looks like it's got some serious attitude. Well, in the tragic way that I do things on YouTube, I'll connect Raul onto the back of Timothy here. In fact, I just looked at Timothy's black paint there, and it's nowhere near as glossy as Raul, and I've just got to do that and then turn him. Okay. Sorry for the bird noises in the background. I think Bluebell's out there attacking birds, and we'll get Gordon going here nice and steady, hey. And there they go, they look fantastic. Raul is not playing up, and somehow Gordon's got some extra speed up there, which is sort of surprising. I wouldn't mind if they come back a bit. Oh no, he's got away from me. That was very random. Oh, he's actually picking up speed. This could get very radical. Very radical. Don't know if it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know why Gordon all of a sudden has got some extra gusto. Oh, the indignity! You've just put on another little train wreck onto the back of me. I can't stand it. And Gordon is actually getting very angry, but he's got some speed. If you are wondering, look at the way the wheels run on the inside. That's the part you sort of don't see because I've been shooting the other side there, especially Timothy. It's almost like he's locked into that Trackmaster 2 track with that fairing area, and Raul's having a lumpy, bumpy ride. Oh, someone put an end to this. I can't stand it. Okay, Gordon, I'm listening to you. The next engine we'll take a look at, it's Racing Ivan. Was that another one from the Great Race? Notice it doesn't say metal engine here in the back. Looks like that. We've sort of seen that before, haven't we? Yeah, they say it's a very good friend of Donald Trump, this one. And let's get into this. And there goes half my viewers in an instant. Got to have some little puns along the way, or else we're just, we're not alive, are we? Come on, Ivan. Come out and talk to us. Oh, sometimes I just feel clumsy in the fingers. Okay, Ivan is free. And it looks very nice. I like the colour scheme of this engine. It's not as glossy as the one before, and I've just forgotten its name. Doesn't take long, does it? Yeah. What can you say about that face? Without getting in trouble. We're missing those details there. I'm pretty sure it's got details that if I grab this picture here, yeah, see that, boys and girls? Get your textures out. Nevertheless, it looks nice. And I dare say if you speak Russian or live in Russia, you would be very, very happy to have something representing you. It looks nice indeed. Nice colour scheme. Sort of very retro in a sense in the way it's painted. I always think of paint schemes like this where there's a line between two colours as something that I saw you see back in the good old days of trains. You don't see that style of paintwork anymore. Nice. Let's give Ivan a bit of a spin on the tracks. Just before we go there's a bit of detail there. It looks like a hammer and sickle and some railway lines, I think. Maybe that's a Russian thing. I know my Russian audience will tell me. Thomas and Friends Adventures. I've got to say it like 11 times over to get take and play out of my brain, and I'll come in and connect Ivan up. Do that twisty thing again. Okay, Ivan's on the rails. And I can tell you, Gordon's not going to be happy dragging a Russian around. Let's see what happens here. Okay, he's got his speed back. That's quite impressive. And there goes Ivan. Chuff. Ooh, I just saw Percy playing up there for a moment. One thing it's proving to us that couple... Oh no, they're over. Gordon, you disgust me. Oh, the indignity. I want to just get away from his little engines as fast as I can. And Gordon's doing his best to escape here. And what I was saying was the coupling system is fantastic, because I'm pretty sure the magnet couplers would never be able to do things like this. And I better tidy this train wreck up. Oh, the indignity! Stop it! And because I'm a glutton for punishment, I love watching train wrecks and giving Gordon difficult jobs. I'll get this very strange Thomas adventures along here. Nearly said take and play again. And there is Ivan, because that's what we want to focus on. It looks very nice, doesn't it? Going over a bit of roly-poly stuff there. Raul, I've just remembered his name, Timothy, Percy and Thomas. It looks awesome, also awesome. Yeah, sometimes Gordon gets a gusto, and then sometimes he plays lazy. At the moment he's playing lazy, which I don't quite understand with the Trackmaster 2 stuff. Let me just get Gordon back here again, see if he's looking more frumpy than before. Mind you, he's getting very tired of pulling this very unusual train. It's not his usual cargo. Oh, he's got his gusto back. How about that, eh? And there goes racing Raul. Is that right? Oh man, Gordon's really taken up speed. Scary how they change. I don't know why it does that. I've never quite worked it out. All I know is often Percy is the instigator of lots of trouble. I'm sure of it. There's a last look at Ivan and all the other ones there. I can't remember the names now. I keep having mental blanks, and we'll turn Gordon off and put him out of the misery of dragging this very strange train. This is the last one that I've found of the Thomas & Friends Adventures toys, individual ones. It's a special edition, original Thomas special 1945 edition. I highly suspect Mattel have done this to lure many of the classic Thomas fans to at least come in and buy one of these toys, which don't have the magnet on them. We take a look at the back, we might get a surprise as well. Well, there's another blatant ad for YouTube Kids. There is a nice picture of Thomas like we saw on the front of the box, but best of all, there's this nice read here, special edition, original Thomas, journey back to Thomas's beginnings before he came to Sodor, before he joined the Steam team, before he became the #1 engine. So the back of this packaging here is very different to that, which I don't like all this garbled sort of language. I mean, it just tells you nothing really, and it's very different to that. And really, instead of the artwork, I would like to see a synopsis. That's really what I want to see. I think that's what most people enjoy reading. But there's something which is sort of spooking me about this packaging as well. And it relates to, well, what is this Thomas really all about? What can we learn about this Thomas? Isn't it really related to that DVD there? What's nice about the DVD artwork here is it doesn't really leave you any spoilers to the wondrous things that you see inside. So maybe associating those two together starts to bring up a spoiler, but I always thought there's a relationship between the movies and the toy. In a sense, one can easily sell the other. And like I said, I think there's something missing on this. Let me just show you some other examples of what I'm talking about. First off, some Thomas Wooden Railway. There's Diesel 10, Day of the Diesels there. Okay, as seen on DVD, Day of the Diesels. Next one is Frida, as like it says, The Great Race, as seen on DVD, The Great Race. Okay, I've got many examples. I'm just going to show you a few. Connor, as seen on the DVD, King of the Railway. But then again, I could flip it around this way, and here's Introducing James, and it's a bit of a secret. It doesn't say anything about what it's seen on. Maybe they're trying to, well, keep it a secret. And the other very curious part about Introducing James was there was actually two markings on this, Introducing James, and one says Origins James. I'd never ever quite worked out why there were two. I'm sure my lovely audience can explain the shenanigans of why I've got two different names on that. I can give some examples of things more related to the product in this video. Look at that set there, Thomas at the Fair, and it says up there, as seen on the DVD, Up, Up and Away. I don't even know if I've had that one. Ones like this, James and the Flying Kipper, inspired by the DVD Spills and Thrills. I think I've got that in the house somewhere. Don't know how much it was watched. That one there, Harvey's Heavy Haul. Hope I got it right there. Spills and Thrills again, up the top there. And moving on further in time with the different magnet set, this one here, Gator's Mysterious Cargo, as seen on Tale of the Brave. Well, that certainly derailed the video a bit. I think it was worth saying. I think there's more value in seeing this rather than seeing Metal Engine, and definitely getting rid of this ridiculous, YouTube kids thing here. I mean, that could be just a flash in the pan thing that's gone in a couple of years. Why would you even bother? That actually annoys me. It might sound very hypocritical there, but that does annoy me seeing that. When I think the real value is in seeing that. Okay, maybe you'll have your say, I'm sure you will. One thing about this toy is if you can, I'm sure everyone's going to try and do this, try to keep it mint in box, because that's going to keep the value of this special edition original Thomas. And I am sure that there's going to be lots of people after this one. If you are only ever going to buy one of these new toys, this is the one you're definitely going to get. I guarantee it. And I'll just get Thomas out of here. Oh, I can breathe. I can breathe. Okay. Looks very spaky, doesn't it? I don't understand actually what it says down the side. The train fans are going to explain it to me, because I've got epic people who watch my stuff and know everything about trains. There it is there. Very, very nice, isn't it? Turning around nice and slowly. I thought maybe before he came to Soda he wouldn't have had a face. Maybe I'm wrong there. It was just me thinking outside the box and from what I've seen from before. Yes, it's so different when you strip away the colour you're so used to seeing a toy in and you put another colour on. I think it's a winner. I mean, I'm a Thomas collector. Any variation of this is always going to make me very happy. I'll just come and unclip this Thomas here and we'll do a side-by-side comparison. Ooh. There they are, as best I can in my infamous in-hand appraisal method. It looks so different, isn't it? Once you change your paint scheme or something, the shape of the toys are the same. The paint scheme is what is designating an original from our Thomas that we all know and love. I remember seeing some comments and people said, wow, it's difficult to get the original Thomas that was being sold out on websites that were selling them all over the place, and what that will cause is a toy vacuum. And you'll probably find this toy here will go to some silly price on eBay as people start to become desperate trying to find it. What happens is that some people go out there, I can explain what happens is they'll go out and everyone they see in the pegs they'll buy, and it basically causes a toy vacuum. And then the smart people start flogging them on eBay for 4 or 5 times the real price. Sadly, that's the way things tend to run these days. I've just clipped Thomas back in there behind Gordon where he was before, and I will come in and get this original Thomas up behind Ivan. I just remembered the names on there, so how could I forget it? Oh, silly Leo, eh? Okay, original Thomas is on. Well, if Shooting Star Gordon was getting cranky before, he's got more to get cranky about now because he's got something to upstage him. And we'll just let the trains go along here and we'll try and capture original Thomas, hopefully, without getting too out of control. It looks very nice, doesn't it? I'm doing some magic on the side here to control the speed of this turntable. It looks very nice indeed, and hopefully this will not turn into a massive train wreck. He's going backwards now. There's Ivan and there's Raul and Timothy and Percy and Thomas there, who looks like Thomas might be getting pulled because of the weight of the train, but Shooting Star Gordon's picking up speed again, and it's freakish, isn't it? And we can get back to looking at the original Thomas there. Yeah, Gordon's really got his work cut out for him now. He's certainly not doing circuits like he was before. And again, the coupling system here is quite magical for the fact that we're not breaking away from each other, which is one of the major nice things about this new clip coupling system. And that there is actually quite the load for Trackmaster 2 train. If you added up the weight of that there, it's doing pretty well. And I'll just actually put Gordon out of his pain, or else he'd be whinging even more. Oh, the indignity! I'm completely over these little Thomas and Friends adventure trains. They're nothing but trouble. I'd like to unclip this Thomas here, the normal standard Thomas, and I'll also grab the original Thomas. Certainly like those connectors, because there is a little point I want to make about a Thomas toy from a little while back versus these ones. So we've worked out the best thing about the Thomas and Friends Adventures toys is the fact we've got this beautiful new coupling system, and it doesn't distract from the look of the toy. Now let's leave some comments from Mattel and let's see if we can start something here. The toy I'd like them to go backwards on and remake is this 70th anniversary Gold Thomas. Now this is a lovely, lovely toy. It was the rollover cab one, which we sort of got used to, but wouldn't it be nice if we got this toy with the new coupling system that looks like that? I mean, the big problem with this toy was that coupling system is very, very ugly and distracting to the eye. And apart from being ugly, it was actually quite dumb as a magnet versus what we had going before. So look, leave a comment, tell Mr. Mattel, please, let's redo this Thomas here. I think it'd be worth revisiting this one, and let's make it really, really nice looking. I absolutely love what's going on with these new toys here. I'm just going to visit a bit of a myth that's been going on, whether it's true or false. Was Toad made back the front in the dumb magnet era? Let's take a look at this. Unboxed Toad here, if I can find an area to unbox it. I remember lots of people saying, oh, it's all made back the front. Toad, you know, it's meant to be pointing backwards, but he doesn't, he points forwards, and all the rest of it. I just remember this toy being a massive dust collector. When I did my Thomas Toy studies in the store, so often all I'd see was dust across, like, toys like this, if I can get it out, and yeah, toys like Toby. So hard to get out. But Toad is free. Okay, in comes Toad. Toad's basically a brake van. He resides at the back of the train, and he always had his little pokey face pointing, looking back at the rails as they went by. Normally the train would go on from here. Let's see if we can connect old Thomas onto Toad and see if that myth is actually correct. It's actually correct. They've made Toad the wrong direction. Can you believe that? I actually just thought it was people having a go. Yes, I don't know whether to laugh or cry, but you never argue with the Thomas fans. They seem to get it right every single time. Well, I'm always thinking that I can fix problems, or maybe the very simple thing to do to get Toad pointing in the right direction is unscrew him. Oh, it's riveted. Oh, if I had screws there, you could just, you know, take the top off, spin it round, and have Toad pointing in the right direction in the way he's meant to be. I'm very pleased I found these Thomas & Friends toys. It can be very difficult for me to find them. The toy company Mattel give me zero assistance, but I've got used to that over the years. And if I was going to pick one of these beautiful new Thomas Adventures toys as the one which is pulling my heartstrings and the one that you should buy if you ever sit on the pegs, well, really, it's a no-brainer. It's this one here. It's that original Thomas toy there. If you ever see that on the pegs, don't even hesitate in picking it up and buying it. I better leave this video here before I get into any more toy trouble. As always, thanks for watching, and bye for now. And if I'm lucky, I can give Thomas one hell ride via... Ever heard of a fail reel? Well, that's the sort of thing that goes on it. Fail, fail, fail. This one says metal engine here, and if I turn it over, and Gordon's nearly taken the top of the background, but hey, it was never meant to be. Let me just add something to this video where nobody watches the video up the end. I'm going to have something very important to say here, and hopefully you're going to listen to me. I might have got a bit narky when I talked about the YouTube Kids app that I saw on the back of this packaging here. And why I get angry about that is because I've got two children. My boy, a young boy, has grown up in a sense what they call the glass generation, or some people call it the swipers, or the children who've had iPads and whatever in front of their face from day one. In our house, we've got a very strict policy now. Basically, the rule is during the week, midweek, while the children are at school, there's no more iPad, no more watching their silly YouTubers anymore, no more playing stupid free app games. We've had enough, okay? What we noticed was it was basically dragging my children back, both of them. Sadly, what I see all too often now is so many parents relying on these things on apps and whatever as basically the childminder or the second or third parent, okay? It's funny, it's ironic here and quite unusual because I'm the sort of person making the garbage that children will watch on YouTube, okay? I put my hand up, yes, Your Honour, I am to blame. I'm not a fan of what I see going on. And I was actually thinking of changing my outros on my video. Instead of thanks for watching and bye for now, I was going to say, look, this has been a very long video. Maybe it's time to log off and go outside and have a play. Or go and play with your toys. I think that would be a much better thing to say at the end of my videos. Instead of trying to drag them back into more of my silly content or them to roam off and go and watch some other YouTuber. Maybe I'll talk about this in another video. I see so many children up at the school now who wear glasses. Myopia is a huge problem. And myopia is where children start to get very poor eyesight. It's like bookworm sort of thing as well. People have been looking at this all the time and their eyes start to go funny. Okay? That's just me speaking as a parent, as me speaking as somebody who looks around at what's going on, and me speaking as a YouTube producer. There's got to be a time when you say enough's enough. I'm sure maybe you're going to have something to say about this if you watch the video. Okay, instead of saying a second thanks for watching and bye for now, how about this? Okay, it's time to log off, go away from your iPad, whatever else, play with your toys, go outside and have a bit of real fun. Bye now.